Hey, welcome to our episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. This is a beer I got on Tavor, and it's like the only beer I think it's the only beer I've ever had on Tavor that I've already had. This is Westbrook One Claw. It's a rye pale ale. There you go. Yeah, I remember having this. I used to get this in six packs all the time when I lived in Albany. Um, and it's interesting. I mean, so I haven't had it in at least 5 years. So, I mean, I just remember it as being like a pretty tasty, pretty easy drinking pale ale that like wasn't nuts, didn't go overboard. And they call it a rye pale ale too. I can't remember how rye it was. To me, I always just remembered it as just being a regular standard American pale ale. So let's give it a look. See here. Well, it's definitely pretty cloudy, pretty hazy. I think there was just some sediment at the bottom of the can. You can see the foam there. You know, it's like if I hold it right to the desk lamp there, it's like a lovely glow to it. You guys can sort of see it, but it's not quite the same. Yeah, I think there's probably a lot of mosaic hops in here. I'm getting like that herbal, grassy, dank pencil shavings, oregano type aroma. Well, I mean, some of that's probably from the rye. I mean, it doesn't smell like rye bread, but yeah, I mean, to me, it smells. What's nice about it is that it does not smell like tropical fruit juice or even citrus for that matter. I mean, there might be like a little bit of grapefruit in there, but yeah, like if you were smelling this blind, like you wouldn't say, "Oh, this is a West Coast IPA" or "This is a New England IPA" or something like that. But yeah, smells good. Smells East Coast style. I haven't had a beer like this in a while. Let's give it a try. Cheers. It's nice. Nice having a pale ale that's not the same as every other one that I've had for the last few months. So, although I am getting like that mosaic hop, or I assume it's mosaic. I don't know. Could have looked it up. I'm really, ever since I retired, quote unquote, from doing Chad's beer reviews, like at least a serious way. Like I don't really look up beers before I review them. I just dive in head first. Yeah, so it's got quite a bit of hop flavor, but not it's not overboard. Again, this is a pale ale, so it's not an IPA. And the bitterness is, fairly tame as well. Like this is what a pale ale really should be. Like enough hops to taste, enough bitterness to notice, but it's not like all up in your face like the way an IPA or a double IPA would be. That that rye is rather subtle. It's not. I mean, they're calling this like right on the can, rye pale ale. That to me that seems like a little mislabeled. Like they could just call it like a pale ale and say, oh, by the way, we threw a little bit of rye in here. Because like when you say rye pale ale, you're expecting it to be rye plus pale ale, and this is pale ale, like with some rye in the background. And most of that rye, it does add like a little bit of a spice, and it kind of complements the hops, like the natural grassy, spicy, herbal kind of flavor going on there. Unlike a like I was trying to like have you ever had like an actual rye IPA? Some of them just taste like straight up rye bread. That is not the case here. Beer is actually like a little bit refreshing while it's in the mouth. What's the ABV? 5.5. Well, I mean that's definitely too strong to like really session, and I wouldn't consider this a beach beer. I would not bring this to the beach or like a lawnmower beer or anything like that. This is like a lunch beer. It's like a beer you have with lunch, or you can do dinner with this one too. In fact, man, I had a steak for dinner tonight, and this probably would have went pretty well with it. Yeah, pretty tasty. Not nearly as good as I remember, because I just remember this being like, you know, well, maybe not amazing, but I just remember it just like being more than just, kind of an average or typical pale ale. And not that I'm saying like this is average. I mean, as far as a rating, it probably goes solid 4 out of 5 on Untappd for this beer. Speaking of which, if I look it up on Untappd, we can see the last time I had it. This is the beauty of doing live YouTube. Don't have to edit. Just let's see. I've had it 5 times. Like last time I had it was February 22nd, 2018. I don't know where I got it from. I don't have a purchase place. And then before that was January 2015. And then there's a bunch of times where I'm having it. Yeah, throughout January 2015. I see why the local beer nerds are spazzing out about this. Yeah, and I gave it 4.5 when I lived in New York, and then I don't remember having this 2.5 years ago, but I gave it 3.75 last time, and I probably agree with that this time. Maybe they changed the recipe, maybe I just changed, So I mean, yeah, solid, good pale ale. And for me, especially ordering all my beer off Tavor, to get a pale ale or an IPA that's not a New England style or a milkshake style is a nice change of pace. So, yeah, check this one out. I mean, this one's been around for a while, so it's not exactly like a brand new beer or anything, but yeah, pretty good. All right, I'm only at 7 minutes instead of 10 or 11. So, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys probably tomorrow afternoon. All right.